Welcome to the McHenry County Sheriff's Office. Having a loved one incarcerated or detained can be a concerning and often frustrating experience for family and friends. It's our hope that you will find this series of short videos helpful in providing information and instruction on a variety of topics and procedures relevant to the McHenry County Adult Corrections Facility. We also hope that these videos will provide family and friends with a glimpse into the daily operations of the facility and the services available. I'm extremely proud of the men and women of the Corrections Bureau and their commitment to the work they do every day. The McHenry County Adult Corrections Facility is nationally accredited through the American Correctional Association and participates in numerous audits and inspections each year. Our goal is not only to provide a safe, secure, and humane housing, but also meaningful programming opportunities for those who wish to participate. We are committed to our community and the families we serve, and welcome any suggestions, concerns, or comments you may have. Thank you.
Welcome to the McHenry County Sheriff's Office Adult Correctional Facility. The purpose of this video is to give family members and friends of individuals being held within the jail a better understanding of the services and opportunities provided. The McHenry County Adult Correctional Facility is a fully accredited facility through the American Correctional Association and holds individuals for a variety of reasons. Individuals arrested for state or local criminal charges may be held in pretrial status while going through court process. Individuals convicted of state or local charges may be sentenced to the jail for up to a year. Sentences longer than 1 year are served in the Illinois Department of Corrections. The McHenry County Sheriff's Office also contracts with a number of agencies to provide housing, including the Bureau of Prisons, the U.S. Marshal Service, and the U.S. Navy. These individuals are typically being held on some type of federal charge, either in a pretrial status or serving a sentence. A third category of individuals are those being held in civil detention status, immigration and customs enforcement. Typically, those being held for immigration purposes are referred to as detainees, while those held on criminal charges are referred to as inmates. Regardless of their status, upon arriving in the facility, individuals are processed into the jail. During the intake process, everyone is given a medical and mental health screening. Anyone with emergency medical issues or who are currently taking a prescription medication are seen by on-duty nurses. Once verified and approved by the on-staff physician, inmates and detainees will continue to receive medication prescribed to them. All personal property is inventoried and securely stored. Any money brought into the facility is placed into an individual trust account. These funds, along with the money placed on their account by family and friends, can be used to purchase items off of the commissary. All inmates and detainees are issued a uniform and given a bedroll with blankets, sheets, and towels, along with hygiene items. Inmates and detainees will continue to be provided hygiene items or may choose to purchase items through the commissary. Inmates and detainees are provided with enough clean uniforms. Uniforms and undergarments are exchanged every 3 days. The McHenry County Adult Correctional Division is staffed with medical personnel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Within 14 days of coming into the jail, all inmates and detainees will receive a medical physical. A physician is on site twice each week and on call for consultations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A full-time mental health worker is available, as well as a staff psychiatrist who is at the facility on a weekly basis. Inmates and detainees may also sign up for sick call or to speak with a mental health provider at any time while in the facility. Inmates and detainees with dental needs are referred to an off-site dentist for treatment. All non-routine medical treatment for detainees must be pre-authorized through ICE. Nursing staff dispense prescriptions and requested over-the-counter medication through several medication passes each day. Inmates and detainees are provided with a variety of nutritious meals each day, consisting of a 2,800 calorie diet. Meals are prepared on-site and delivered to the housing units. Individuals on special diets for medical or religious reasons are accommodated whenever possible. Inmates and detainees are allowed to purchase items off of commissary on a weekly basis. Items available include hygiene items such as soap, toothpaste, deodorant, and shampoo. Inmates order commissary by setting up a PIN number that only they know. Family and friends may also add funds to the account by mailing a money order with the inmate or detainee's name. using the kiosk located in the main entrance of the jail, or by calling the 800 number listed on the sheriff's welcome page and using a debit or credit card. Inmates and detainees are assigned to a housing unit based on their classification status. Detainees receive a classification status by immigration officials prior to arriving at the facility. This classification level is based on the history of the individual and their behavior while detained. Detainees may request a review of their classification level by writing a request to ICE using the forms provided to them in each housing unit. Inmates receive a classification status after being interviewed by a classification officer shortly after being processed into the facility. Classification levels for county inmates are based on their pretrial or sentenced status, the classification of the crime which they are arrested for, and their behavior while inside the facility. Inmates and detainees are typically assigned to a two-person cell where they are locked down at night and during certain periods of the day. During most of the day, afternoon, and evening, inmates and detainees are free to be in the day room of the housing unit or may request to use the gymnasium. Throughout the day, while not on lockdown, inmates and detainees may participate in a variety of activities. Each housing unit is stocked with a variety of games and reading material. There are telephones available in each housing unit for inmates and detainees to use. All telephone calls are subject to monitoring at any time except for privileged calls to attorneys or other legal entities. Inmates and detainees may purchase telephone time through the commissary, or they may make collect calls subject to them being accepted by the called party. All inmates and detainees have access to law library material through a LexisNexis computer system. Inmates and detainees may also request to be taken to the library where there is a wide variety of reading material in various languages. Inmates and detainees may check out books and take them back to their housing units. Inmates and detainees may send and receive an unlimited amount of correspondence. Inmates and detainees who cannot afford writing material are provided with paper, pencil, and stamped envelopes. Mail is delivered to the facility each weekday and is distributed to inmates and detainees after it has been logged and checked for contraband. Mail that contains sexually explicit photographs or drawings or gang-related material will be placed in the inmate or detainee's property. The inmate or detainee will be notified of the mail and the reason it was denied. Visiting hours are posted on the sheriff's webpage and at the front desk of the jail. Visiting hours are subject to change. Visiting may be canceled during inclement weather or when emergencies place the facility on lockdown. Inmates and detainees may receive one visit each week. All visits are conducted via video monitors and last for approximately 30 minutes each. The public visiting area can accommodate 2 visitors, 2 adults, or 1 adult and 1 child. Infants are considered a visitor. The same 2 visitors who sit at a monitor are to remain until the visit is over. No switching of visitors is permitted at any time. Children under the age of 17 must be accompanied by a legal parent or guardian. Children are not to be left in the waiting area unattended or with strangers. This is illegal and could result in DCFS being notified. Prior to visiting, visitors should sign in at the front desk of the jail by presenting a valid ID and informing the officer who they would like to visit. Acceptable identification includes driver's licenses or state-issued ID cards. Passports or United States government ID cards or I-551 permanent resident cards. Visits are held on a first-come, first-served basis. Once registered, visitors may obtain a lock to secure any items in a locker in the waiting area. Purses, cameras, bags, and jackets are not allowed in the visiting area. When your visit is ready to begin, visitors will be asked to walk through a scanner prior to going into the visiting area. Once through the scanner, visitors will be assigned a video monitor. The time for the visit will begin when both parties pick up the handset. The visits cannot be shared by multiple inmates or detainees. Visitors engaged in inappropriate behavior will have their visit terminated and, based on the nature of the offense, may be restricted from future visits. Inmates and detainees may participate in a variety of programming activities, including various faith-based religious programs, individual counseling, Bible studies, Islamic prayer services, Catholic confession and communion, Protestant worship services, interfaith pastoral care programming, Alcoholics Anonymous groups, Celebrate Recovery groups, GED education and testing, Know Your Rights presentations. All program participation is voluntary. Inmates and detainees may also participate in a variety of work programs while in custody, including work in food service, laundry, road crew, and various other opportunities. Inmates who are arrested on state or local charges will go before a judge in rights court the morning after they are arrested, excluding holidays. Prior to going to court, inmates may speak with a representative from the public defender's office if they do not have their own representation. Rights court is held in a courtroom just off of the front desk in the jail. Members of the general public may view the proceedings by registering at the front desk. Rights court begins at approximately 8:30 each morning and runs until the judge has had the opportunity to see the arrestee. Members of the general public will be able to view and hear the proceedings. However, they will not be allowed to speak or participate in any way. During rights court, the judge may remand the inmate back to the custody of the sheriff without a bond, or he may set a bond. The judge may also release the inmate on a recognizance bond. The inmate signs their name, promising to show up for their court date. It is at this time that the judge will schedule the next court date. Bond may be posted at any time through the bonding window at the front of the jail. The bonding window is located in the vestibule just prior to entering the front desk area of the jail. There is an additional $28 processing fee for each bond posted. Bond can be posted with cash, credit, debit cards, or certified cashier check. Bond and processing fees must be in exact amounts. The jail does not have the ability to make change. If you are posting bond for an inmate, please inquire prior to posting the bond if there are any outstanding holds on the individual. If there are holds for another agency, the inmate will be released to the other agency once their bond has been placed in the McHenry County. Depending on the nature of the hold, you may be able to post the additional bond through McHenry County. If the inmate has an ICE detainer, he or she will be taken to Chicago for processing once their bond has been placed for the local charges. It will then be up to ICE whether to release the individual or continue to hold them in custody. At this point, they may be transferred back to McHenry County or one of the other ICE holding facilities. The officer at the bonding window will let you know if there are additional holds and which agencies have those holds.